We just saw Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Like, literally, we just got back.
We just got back, like, 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you, people. That...
To me, it was literally...
That was the most most wonderful, frightening,
fucked up
thing I've ever experienced at the show.
Yes. It was literally so fucked up.
I know.
But at the same time, it was so
amazing.
good.
Now, when the movie started, I'm like, I could not stop smiling through the whole thing.
Literally.
Me and David were just...
I was just like...
We're like,
the
oh,
whole
this is
time.
cute. It was so cute.
Everything was perfect.
I know.
Everything was perfect. It's like the first time you ever actually see everybody just this happy family. Like, you see them all walk. I love that part when they're all walking up. And Bella was looking at all of them, and it was like Emmett and Rosalie, and they're all walking up and laughing, and
it's like, oh, everything's fine now, you know what I mean? And
it's all okay.
And Edward and Jacob are getting along and everything, and all that. It's just
he was complimenting them. He's like, oh, you guys look really good together. And it's like, oh my god!
It's like now this is how it is.
And that's how the book was, you know. That's the feel you got from it. Like, everything's okay and everything's perfect.
Yep. And then all the other covens come and they're all so amazing.
Oh my god!
Especially Alistair, man. There's something about him.
I know.
They only said
so
he just
badass.
hid in the attic in the book.
Yep.
Like, he came down, he talked to him, and he's like, oh, let me tell you something.
Right, and then he would go right back up.
I know, and it was so cool.
Freaking loved Garrett. Garrett was
badass.
He was so
He's like,
badass.
I was in the English War.
Yeah, and he's like, name any American war, and I've been in it.
Yep,
and Jacob's naming off all these wars, and they're talking about them. Oh my god.
Just like how he got along with all of them and everything.
I loved that flashback to when they were showing the Denalis in the village or whatever.
Yeah,
the Immortal
like
Child.
way back then.
Oof, there were so many good parts.
Oh.
It was like they pulled it off again, and finally, and they did it.
And of course.
And then you have the ending credits, and they're showing all the characters.
Yeah.
All the people that played.
From the first movie.
From the first movie, they showed Seth, Leah, all the Wolf Pack.
James, Laurent,
Victoria, fucking all the Volturi.
The pages turn forever, which was a nice touch.
Yep.
You know, to add the books in there.
Oh my god.
But we shit our pants. We shit our fucking
literally,
pants.
it was... He predicted this, right?
Yeah, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this story. Like, before we saw this movie, like, right when we were starting these videos, I'm like, what if we go see Breaking Dawn and, like, the huge fight scene happens and, like, Carlisle dies? And what's the first thing we see when that fight starts? Fucking Aro holding Carlisle's head.
And we're like...
I was like,
it was literally...
fucking kidding me, and I screamed it. I screamed it in the middle of the fucking show.
I literally, like, my stomach, as soon as I saw that, my stomach went... went down. And
the excitement that we had was gone. I'm like, they
literally,
fucked up.
like, when that happened, they ruined it all.
Yep.
It was all ruined.
I'm like, no. This is now my least favorite movie because you killed Carlisle. How the fuck can people accept that?
Jasper died.
Seth died. Leah
Carlisle died. Leah.
Aro got his head ripped off.
Aro died.
Which is sweet. Okay.
Jane died.
Yeah. And let me tell
Alec.
Marcus died.
Marcus died.
Marcus like, I'm just gonna die.
He's like, finally! I want to die! That was funny, though.
I know.
I laughed when he did that.
I know. I'm like, wow.
Finally.
It seemed like Marcus.
Yeah, like, that's what he would want, too.
But, the whole fight scene was sweet as hell.
It was.
But the whole time, I'm like...
But you couldn't enjoy it.
I could not enjoy it.
If you watch it for a second time, you can.
Yes.
You know, you can watch it a second time, you know it ain't gonna, you know it's good,
but the whole time I'm thinking, please, let this be a vision, please.
Yep.
I'm like...
Me and him were telling, we're like, this isn't happening.
I'm like,
this
no!
Isn't the way
this
it's
is a fucking nightmare.
No, it's bullshit. And we're like, Stephanie Meyer would not approve, people would not be raving about how great this is. Oh my god, it was bullshit. We're like, fuck no.
And people are cheering and laughing when everybody's getting their heads ripped off.
I know!
And I'm like, and they're clapping when Jane died and Sam killed Jane. I'm like, and David's like, why are they laughing? I'm like, they didn't read the book.
That's the thing, they're clapping. I'm like, why are you people clapping? And then that was funny. We had these people were talking and yelling in the show.
Those fuckers.
These people are yelling and people are telling them to shut up. They're like, shut up. And then some dude's like,
oh.
She has AIDS.
Like, yeah. Edward's like, oh, we're the same temperature now. You look so beautiful. And one guy's like, she has AIDS.
And I'm like, you dick. And I yelled it. I'm like
hilarious.
Dick. Yeah, it was.
We said it at the same time. It was funny.
Like, you dick. It was.
People kept
I'm like,
people,
shut the
you can
fuck
hear this
up.
like girl up there going,
and she keeps talking. He's like, shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. Like the
you can
crowd
tell
was.
she's probably a hater.
The
man.
crowd was so rowdy, it was annoying. But
Yeah.
you know, during the intense parts, they were shut. You know, they shut up, and it was
just
good.
kind of. Yeah, exactly.
But I'm excited to see it for a second time to enjoy that fight
Yeah.
scene. You know, to see
That
how
could be like-
badass it
yeah.
really is.
With all the excitement drained out of you, it was like
Right.
a hollow moment. Very.
Yeah,
hollow.
I was like, oh, what is
And
happening?
I'm like,
here?
this is not. I'm like, this.
And then-
this can't be. I'm like,
And then
this can't
once
be.
it ended, and
Yep.
all of a sudden it showed
Yep.
Aro just standing there, and she was holding it.
And
Joe's
Alice
like,
is I screamed.
he's like, now you know what's gonna happen, and he just.
I was like, yes!
And he yelled
I screamed
it.
at
and
the
I'm
top of my
like,
lungs.
God! And we were like the only ones that yelled.
I
too.
know.
Nobody else said anything, and you're like,
I'm like,
yes!
yeah, and this like you said, this person.
Yeah, the
looked at
person in
me.
the front like turned around and
I
looked at him.
screamed at the top of my lungs because I was so relieved that it was a vision. My hands, my arms were tingly and numb,
Oh.
and I was like this.
My
for
hands
the rest
still
of the
are
movie.
a little bit.
I just, I didn't give a shit.
No.
I'm like, please. I'm like, this is going so bad. Everybody's dying. I'm like, no, this is a nightmare. I'm like, please let it be a vision. David's like, please let it be a vision. I'm like, yes, please.
It was one of the most nightmarish things
Yeah.
I've ever witnessed in my life. Seeing them die
Yeah.
was like.
I'm like, you killed Carlisle. I was like, hello.
And I was like, whoa.
And then I'm like, no. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding
And
me.
the next thing you know, yeah, that's what you said.
I said,
You're like, you
screamed
gotta
it.
be fucking kidding me. And then fucking
You froze. I saw you. Like,
I
freak.
stopped. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And then all of a sudden, fucking Jasper gets the shit ripped out of
Yep.
him. He's dead. I'm like, no, fucking Seth
can't
gets
do
his
that.
neck snapped,
Yep.
and it's like
And then he dies, and then Leah falls into.
Leah falls in this pit of hell, and then
Yeah.
it's like.
the pit of hell. So it's Aro.
So some black stein.
Just like pull guns out and start blowing each other away and shit. I'm like, oh yeah, just drop a nuclear bomb on the whole
That's
field.
what you said. You're like, just
Yeah.
kill them all. Like, just
Kill them all. I mean, you can't fuck this up anymore.
But you have to admit, like, when Bella and Edward like teamed up to kill Aro, that was badass.
Yeah, it was cool.
badass. But like
For the second time.
But even Aro dying and like Jane dying, but then that was cool.
It was
Alice was
terrible.
like dragging fucking Jane
Yeah.
and Sam. That was sweet. But
It was cool, but we couldn't enjoy it.
But you couldn't
because
enjoy
we
it.
couldn't. It was fucked up.
Oh,
And everybody cheered when Aro finally died and they burned him.
right.
And I understood, but I'm like,
Everybody's like,
they don't
"Oh."
know the book. And me and David are just sitting there like,
We're like, we were fucked.
I know, we were totally fucked.
I thought Edward was gonna die for a
Yeah, I'm like, holy shit. Okay, they'll just kill everybody and they'll all be bodies laying, and that's the end of Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Yeah.
It's just bodies in a field.
And I'm like, and the Volturi are gonna like walk away or
Yeah,
something. And I'm
or
like,
something, like fuel.
the fuck?
Aro's gonna be...
And I thought there was gonna be some ending with like Jacob and Renesmee or something.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Well,
I
it
like,
was when they were growing up.
Well, no, I know, but like I meant like when that was happening, and everybody was dying.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were gonna like go off and that
Go
was
off,
gonna
and
be,
it'll be like
ending.
the start of some new
And
series.
I'm like, the fuck, like that would have sucked. Oh, it was just, you know what, fucking Melissa
was a good
Rosenberg, you got
fucked us big time.
Oh,
I mean,
fucked
you
us.
messed with our heads, and that was it was like the best feeling when you find out it's a vision.
When it's relief.
It's like...
It was like, oh. Okay, now what I've realized about this movie, the thing that, it's not something that I necessarily didn't like, because I love this movie.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah.
It was beautiful.
Definitely.
Beautiful, but
Beautiful, yeah.
the thing is I realized there's not as much to it. It's very simple.
Yeah, it
It's
just
like
got
a very,
straight to the point.
Yes.
I noticed.
It was
I noticed
very
that.
simplistic.
Yep.
It was like bam, and the thing is you weren't so much watching it, like you were feeling it. Like
Yeah.
you were feeling the movie.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like going through the motions of like the books and this. It was like point A, point B, this is it. And it was very simple, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there wasn't as much
It's
dialogue.
like they left out.
They
Left out something.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Quileutes, you don't see a lot of them. You see
Yeah.
the new ones like Brady and Colin.
Colin and yeah.
And you know that's them. You know what I mean? Because you read about them.
Right.
And that was cool. You know, more vampires.
That was really cool
coming
to
in.
see him. He's like, "Oh, calm down," because
Yeah.
he's freaking out that he's a wolf.
Yeah,
I'm like, that was
like
so
you're okay. I'm like, that was a good touch to
Yeah.
show you what they go through when they change.
And then Jacob transforming in front of Charlie.
Charlie,
that was fucking
really,
crazy. I was
really
like,
intense.
wow. I know, like, oh my god, what's happening? What's happening?
And I love that really cute scene where like Renesmee runs to Edward and they're holding
I know.
and they're talking and just
Oh,
and
God.
Bella's like, oh, we're gonna die, and it was like that was so cute.
It was so good.
I'm like,
A
oh
lot
my
of it was
God.
so good. Oh god.
Oh, but Bill, Melissa, Stephanie,
You got us.
raped our minds.
That was like a April Fool's joke.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it was.
I'm like,
played a joke on us. Somebody played a joke on us.
That's exactly how I felt.
Yeah, like you played a joke on us, but it was a good joke, and we can appreciate it.
Yeah,
We're like,
exactly.
you got us.
You got us, you bitch. I mean, you do that again, I'll bust your ass, bitch.
You do that again, I'll bust your ass, bitch.
I'm like you're laughing.
Oh, and then there was some really funny parts. Like, it was just hilarious. You had when Arl first meets Renesmee, he's like, I'd like to meet her, and all of a sudden she walks up to him and he's like, Shuri! The noise he made, it was so funny. He's like,
I busted out laughing.
And then
I don't know if anybody else did.
Yeah,
but I did.
and then you were like the only one laughing.
I know.
I cracked up.
I know.
I'm like, and then it just shows like
Edward, like, fuck was that?
Just like look at him like. But the thing is, and then there was another part because you had the Romanians, Vladimir and Stefan, and they had these really like Russian accents.
Yeah, they're like lots.
And when they were talking, it was funny because they stopped talking, and I like whispered to him like, "This is bullshit," and he started cracking.
I was laughing so hard, I had to be so quiet because I didn't want to be like, bah!
I was crying because I was laughing so hard.
I know. You're like, this is bullshit.
I'm like, this is bullshit.
And it sounded exactly like Stefan. Like it sounded exactly like him, and I was like. I'm like, we're being like the people that are talking around us.
But you know what? Like, I don't think anybody in that movie theater appreciated it more than we
exactly.
did.
I mean, there was all 13, 15-year-old girls. I mean, which is fine. I mean,
and then the guys that were there, you can see
the guys were all, this is stupid.
Yeah, like
blah,
the typical
blah, blah.
macho, like coming here with my girlfriend forced to go type thing.
I'm gonna try to ruin it for everybody by talking shit through
and
the
yelling.
Whole thing.
Yeah,
I was like, it happened through the whole movie.
Yeah,
people were talking shit, and I'm like,
yeah.
And you're like, dick, and I was like, that was so cool. I'm like, damn right, you better tell it.
It was.
Like, next time he says
you're
something
still my
like
daughter, but you're different. And he's like, she has AIDS. And I'm like, you dick.
I know.
Because it's like, what are you doing? You're ruining the movie-going experience for everybody.
Do you really think you're that cool? I mean,
oh man, but this is just.
And
I want to say that in all complete seriousness, I first started getting into Twilight when the first Breaking Dawn came out for part 1, and that's before I read the books and I saw the movie, and right around this time, November 23rd will be my 1 year.
Yep.
And
that's coming up.
To be totally honest, watching this movie was a real closer for me. It was a real it was an early ending for me, and
but it's okay.
Not like an early ending. I meant it's more of like my 1 year coming to a close. You know. And honestly, I will tell you right now, with a straight face, look you dead in the eye, that this year has been one of the best years of my entire life. I could not thank Stephanie Meyer and Melissa Rosenberg and all the actors and actresses that brought this whole thing to me. Stephanie Meyer with her books, that's what I need to really recognize, because in a lot of ways,
it's the same, because
in a lot of ways,
I only had him for a year.
Yeah.
Before that, I had Nick and Lindsay.
Yeah.
And they're just normal Twilight fans.
Yep.
And I could talk about it with them, but not like him.
And it's
not
been
like him.
Yeah, and to be totally honest, I couldn't appreciate this guy even more, because this has been one roller coaster of a year. It's been like we
haven't
so many
stopped talking about Twilight
for over a year.
Like literally, like no joke.
Every single time we hang out, it's always
all we talk about.
Always.
And remember we used to be bored. You'd come over and be like,
we'd be like, what are we
gonna do? I don't know. Take a walk. Something.
Now it's like,
need to talk.
Like,
what if Edward came over and did this and that, and Jacob was it, and David's like, yes, oh my god. And we just have the best time just doing that.
Literally though, like some of the moments in this movie with Jacob and the characters, like I felt like their true characters shined in this movie. Like they were the epitome of the character they were representing, and it was. And oh man,
it was it. Like while you're watching, you're like, this is it. It's gonna.
This is the ending. It never, I think, really sunk in until later in the movie for me.
Yeah,
I was never really accepting it until later, and I'm like,
it just seemed like a regular flowing bridge movie,
right?
Eclipse or a new moon or something.
But it was the end, and they did it so perfectly.
Good.
It was good.
I'm so satisfied. We didn't cry. Everybody's like, oh, we cried and stuff. Tears run down your eyes.
I'm surprised.
Like, it's gonna be sad.
You know what though? To be totally honest with you,
it was really happy, so I didn't want to cry.
Right. There was nothing really sadness-wise.
Yeah.
I mean,
and when you see Carlisle die and everybody die, of course it's sad. But I was so disappointed that I couldn't feel anything but disappointment.
see, the thing is, though, I think what happened for me is when I watched Breaking Dawn and everything, blah, 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 I watched it before I read the books and all this other stuff. When I got it on DVD, I didn't watch it for the longest time after that, but for the second time, or the third time technically, I watched it, and I watched it on DVD at home,
and
I almost
emotional.
cried.
Yep.
I got really, really emotional. I feel like if I watched
the first one was more emotional.
It was.
I think it was.
It was. Yes.
Like, it got me, like,
Part
oh my
one.
God.
Yeah, there was parts where I was, oh my God.
But I never screamed at the show in any of the movies, or at any part. I never freaked out like that.
It was overpowering.
Yeah.
Like, you could just... See, that's the thing, though. I like that going to Twilight shows. It's like, you can feel the energy off everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is just...
for people to know, this was our first movie that we seen
together
for the first time. Like, I saw Breaking Dawn a week before he saw it.
Mm-hmm. Which is
Part
before
one.
I read the books.
Yep.
And
we saw it again for a second
This
time.
is the only movie
cool.
we got to watch for the first time.
Where we were both surprised.
Together, and that's... Yeah, and
we were able to sit there and be disappointed together, and to be suddenly relieved and scream our heads off together.
I know. It was really great.
I mean, this is about. I mean,
this is as good as it gets.
Yeah,
like this was.
This is what going to the movies is about. It's about what being satisfied is all about. You know what I mean? I mean, you gotta embrace this.
Transferring something like Twilight onto the big screen to see visually and see all this and. The wolves looked so real, and just the music and...
The music was really good.
Oh, it was amazing.
Like, I'm getting these soundtracks. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah, it's already on sale.
I know.
You probably get it at Meyer. Fuck.
Yeah, we go right now.
The thing is, though, I couldn't be more thankful for what I've experienced with Twilight. Twilight...
For everything, not just this movie.
Twilight has done immense amounts of all kinds of things to me. It's helped me. It's opened my eyes. It's opened my mind. I've had countless experiences that I never thought like even existed.
It like prolonged his year.
And people, I don't think people can truly grasp it.
No.
You know, unless you're one of us. But
yeah,
it was. I feel like the adventure has been.
It's always with you.
It's always with you. It's always going to stay with you.
This movie, but it always stays with you, and that's.
But they did it. Oh, so perfectly. Everything was just perfect at the end.
Yeah.
And she sees them and they're all standing there.
So,
yes. Jacob and Renesmee, and it was all
good.
grown up. It was perfect.
So thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Bill, for making a good movie. Everybody involved, all the actors.
Everybody.
I mean, we're the Twilight cousins, so this is very important to us. This was a really big night for us.
And to be totally honest, I think I speak for both of us when we say that Twilight, it is just... in a sense, our everything.
Our everything set aside from our reality.
It's our personal everything.
It's our own personal everything. And we're right at the same level. And
this, I can't stress how happy this whole thing has made me, this whole adventure, and that I'm glad that for a lot of it, or for just about all of it, up until this point, I could spend it with him.
Yeah.
Because
and him too.
It was just, it's so nice to have that other person. Just it's to experience it together. It's like you get doubles of everything.
Yeah.
And it was just,
and you don't have to hold anything back. That's why, we like hanging out now because of Twilight. I mean,
and you know what?
Like we liked hanging out before, but this has changed us.
And you know what? I will repeat this till the day I die.
Go ahead.
It's
19 minutes.
I know.
We got to
like
wrap
2
this up.
seconds. And I promise to love Twilight wherever I may go.
Yep.
So all may see my obsession, because we know what the
Twilighters know.
And that's it.
We are the Twilight cousins. Thank you for watching.
Love you.